Hey there, weebs and weebettes. This is the Goblin King, and I've miraculously got another anime review for you. I seriously think I'm going to be expanding out this segment in the new year. I can't say that there's a dearth of good anime content out there. That wouldn't just be disingenuous, it would be an outright lie. I'm aware that the new season of Demon Slayer dropped at some point over the last week or two. I'm simply waiting till it's done to watch it. I also watched Mugen Train, so I hear that's like the first 2 or 3 episodes at least anyway. Also, I think I'm getting that itch to watch other shit that I get periodically. So yeah, definitely think I'm either going to be expanding this segment or putting it on hold and starting up another one. Not sure. I'll give it some thought and figure it out. For now though, I managed to find a pretty new anime. In fact, I just got done watching the last episode today. The day it dropped. So you all will have a completely fresh one for me to fawn all over or whatever. The anime I speak of is The World's Finest Assassin. I don't know if that's actually the shortened form of its title or not. That's just what I've been calling it. The full English title is The World's Finest Assassin Gets Reincarnated in Another World as an Aristocrat. Now, my Japanese accent is atrocious, I know this. I really noticed it in my last video on Danmachi, so I'm not even going to attempt to butcher the Japanese title on this one. Just let it be known that, as per the title's length, it was based on a light novel. So I guess this is from the same person that brought us Redo of Healer, which a surprising number of women loved. Wait, scary. A scary number of women loved. Bitches be cold. So let's break this anime down, shall we? The World's Finest Assassin is about a master assassin who gets betrayed and killed by the syndicate he worked for. Upon his death, he meets up with a goddess who makes him an offer he can't refuse. Rather, she states that he can be reborn as usual, or he can be reborn in another world with all his prior memories intact, as long as he accepts her contract to assassinate the hero within 18 years in order to prevent the destruction of that world. Once he accepts her requests, he is able to choose certain skills and such he'll be born with, and is reborn in this other world as an aristocrat, hence the title, of the Tuwahade family, from which point he swears to try to live happily and not as someone else's tool. Alright, pretty interesting setup right out of the gate, I suppose. You have an Isekai protagonist that wasn't just hit randomly by the Isekai truck while saving a puppy or a little kid or something. This one was killed on purpose by some shady organization that likes to hire people to kill other people. So we have one trope busted down already. Good deal. Second trope sort of busted down right off is that whole, oh, I'm reincarnating you in this nice place because you're such an awesome person, or because heaven made a mistake and you weren't supposed to die right yet. Sorries! Nah, this guy was specifically chosen after death for a specific purpose by the goddess during the reincarnation bit. Third trope, the protagonist is not the prophesied hero. He's supposed to take out the hero. So, right off the bat, you got several of these tropes being broken by this random isekai. That makes it pretty good so far. Intriguing background, interesting reincarnation, plus the circumstance the protagonist is reincarnated into are fairly interesting, and you don't have many, even standard fantasies, really playing with this idea. So the assassin is reborn as Lu Tuwahade, a noble family of the world he's born into. However, this family isn't even a standard noble family. Not even one of those noble families like fantasy stories like to play with. You know the ones. Oh, this noble family really cares about the peasants that farm their land and all that. I mean, this family does, apparently, but that's not what makes them interesting. This family is a family of assassins. They work directly for the royal family of their kingdom by taking out the trash. In this case, so far, they have been trash too. Nobles that run drugs, slave rings, prostitution rings, etc. Shit that, in all honesty, could serve to destabilize the ruling family for sure. Lou also is not your average isekai protagonist. He's not all goofy and happy-go-lucky, and I have my smartphone and all that. He's got the memories of a man who lived upwards of 60 years of life as a killing tool. Someone who suppressed their emotions to the point that, when his syndicate betrayed him, he didn't even get mad. He accepted it as sort of par for the course. So even as Lou, he's got this cold, hard edge to him. He's very cool and level-headed and analytical. He rarely even seems to be embarrassed by certain things that happen to him over the course of the show. You know, like normal teenage things. By extension, he's not one of those overly annoying protagonists that are completely awkward around the opposite sex. It doesn't happen often, and it's rather refreshing to be honest. That's part of the whole reason I like the aesthetic of a rogue hero. Every once in a while it's charming and can be funny, but the awkward, dense protagonist trope needs to die already for sure. The only Isekai trope that Lou doesn't seem to be breaking is that overpowered trope. Granted, he's going to be good at assassination due to the memories that he kept from his previous life and the skills he'd honed over 60 or so years. However, we have that whole, I've never seen that much magic power in anyone trope that they threw in there for good measure. It's just kind of lazy at this point. Well, it was always lazy. I was making overpowered self-insert protagonists that could do anything when I was 12. Come on, people. I know you can do better than that. Then, because it's standard practice by now, you have the three girls that surround Lou. You have Dia Vicone, who's a few years older than Lou and taught him how to harness his massive amount of magic. She's also his primary love interest. Then you have Tart, a girl abandoned by her parents and found near death by Lou because she possesses magic. He trained her and uses her as his tool to assist him with his family's other work. She's obviously completely besotted by Lou, but so massively devoted and loyal to him that she literally puts her life on the line for him on several occasions. She's also pretty adorable. Not Nezuko levels or anything, but pretty adorable. Then there's Maha, a savvy, intelligent girl who runs Lou's legitimate business interests. Like Tart, she has a rather tragic background and was also recruited by Lou due to her magical abilities. As stated, she's smart and savvy and all around a pretty cool character. Lou's parents are interesting. His dad is a sort of standard nobleman. This is probably going to fly over a lot of people's heads, but he reminds me of Dritz Doran's dad in a lot of ways. A good man doing bad things for a good reason. That sort of deal. Lou's mom is also adorable, but weirdly devoted to her child. I mean weirdly. That's all I'll say. It comes off as a little funny in the anime, but it's a sort of, did she really just say/do that sort of funny. Oh, and is it just me that feels this way, or is Lou's dad's mustache just really fucking awkward looking? Overall, not a bad show at all. A little predictable in some parts, felt it ran a little slow as far as the plot went. This first season was really just setting up the background for Lou and his companions. It didn't really further the overall story arc very much at all, which is a bit of a complaint. I feel like they could have compacted some of this stuff into maybe the first 4 episodes or so and gotten just as far in the story as they did over 12. I mean, I'm guessing they probably wanted to stick closer to the light novels, and I get that. Truly. It always annoys me when a film adaptation deviates from the source material. So I can completely understand and appreciate if that was the reason for the slow pacing. Nonetheless, the anime does suffer from some slow pacing. Be prepared for that. The story itself was intriguing enough that you can overlook that, but it's there. Like I said, there were some of those tropes that didn't get broken, so if you're completely against isekai tropes, don't watch this one. Skip it. There are some there. The story did throw us a couple of nice twists in the last couple of episodes, especially in the last 20 or 30 seconds of episode 12. Hopefully the show is popular enough that it gets a second season so we can see some more of this, because it really got me interested. If you're worried about the same type of stuff in this anime as there was in Redo of Healer, no worries. Nothing on that level. The bit of nudity that was present has been fairly negligible at 12 episodes in, and so far hasn't been overly sexual. Seriously, I didn't mind Redo of Healer for the most part, but that shit was just this side of hentai. Anywho, I know this thing is running a little long, so I'll end it there. Overall, as I said, a pretty good anime. I like the art style, and the opening theme is pretty cool too. I gotta be honest. If you've seen this anime and want to leave a comment, or if you want to wax poetic about how amazing I am, or if you want to tell me about how shit I am, go ahead and do that in the handy section down below there. While you're down there, I'm putting a hit out on those shiny buttons right there. I'll see you on Saturday for the new and improved This Week in Pop Culture. Lates.